If you earn £20,000, 30,000, 40, 50, even £100,000, you can't just quit your job because you are tired. Your bills will still arrive. And so the smarter move is to build assets that eventually pays you the money that your employer actually gives you. And that is why I'm excited about today, because I'm going to be giving you 5 assets that can eventually replace your income. I'm not sure if you are ready. Get that pen, take that paper, and get ready for class. Let's jump straight into this. Property is an obvious one, and if you ask me, a simple buy to let can do some business. All right, buy the right property at the right price with the right financing, and at the end of the month with a good tenant in. If you take out your maintenance, you take out your insurance, you take out your void, whatever is left is cash flow that comes straight to you. All right, and you may say, well, property is quite expensive. Yes, property is capital intensive, but then who says you should own it by yourself alone? If you can afford it alone, by all means, go on and get it, all right? But how about your community? How about your network? Who do you call a friend? How about a few of you coming together, putting resources together and going for that property? But once again, let me admonish you. If you intend to come together as a cohort, one here, one there, come together and form legal structures are part of this. Don't just trust each other because we love each other. Yes, love is great. Hey, I got you, right? But let's put some legal formations together. It should be legally binding. Our terms should be legal. Our shareholdings should be legal. Our contributions should be legal. And once again, the shareholdings should be legal. Once again, the aim is not to do something that someone is actually expecting you to do, but actually providing something that someone is willing to pay a price for. And if you ask me, property is one of the places you can actually look into investing. Maybe you are thinking, I don't want tenants. I don't want to deal with mortgage. I don't want to deal with boilers. Well, that is fine. You may also be asking yourself, well, how many people have enough money to move into physical property? If that is you, then I introduce to you REITs, and that is Real Estate Investment Trust. These are companies that own these real estates or they finance them, and these companies are listed on the stock market. And so, yes, these are companies you can actually invest in. Now, you do not have to deal with a tenant, but they do the same business with dividends here and there. Of course, they are going to differ, but once again, a good investment to look into. And if you ask me, that is a place that you can also dominate. Now, this is not a good sign to say go and get in there. I need you to do your research and do your due diligence. Names like Realty Income, Agree Realty, and Phillips Edison are example to research on. Once again, it is not a buy signal, please. UK investors can hold REITs in their stocks and shares ISAs, and of course, every dividend you earn on these investments are tax-free because you are holding them at the safest place. And between 2026, 2027, you can still hold a maximum of £20,000 in your stocks and shares ISA. We do not know of the future considering economic changes, and we have new government policies that comes in here and there. But from now, as I record this video, yes, a £20,000 maximum you can keep in these holders. Of course, if you are holding a US or any offshore holding, then you may want to consider taxes that come from that side as well. Once again, £20,000 you can keep in that. And so if you're wondering, I do not have 250,000 to go for a fiscal property, well, this is another route, REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust, and you won't go wrong with it. So number 3, let's widen the net a little bit. And so this time I'm moving you to exchange traded funds, and that is ETF. This is where you buy a basket of companies under one move. And so instead of you focusing or depending on one company, this is a huge basket. And within that basket, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, up to the Z's. You name them all in one basket. And some of these companies actually pay you dividends. And so once again, you're not going wrong with these selections as well. I know when it comes to ETF, some people say, oh, the S&P 500, but there are various ETFs that do exceptionally well. And so it is dependent on what you're actually going into. Once again, this is not a financial advice because you haven't come to see me. We haven't tailored anything suitable to your specification. This is only for educative purposes. And so if you're grabbing this information from me, note that it is only for educative purposes. But let me introduce to you some of the ETFs that I would say, well, it is is worth researching into. And if you want to take a stick in them, by all means, take a stick in them. First and foremost, we're talking about VHYL. And this is a global high dividend company that pays quarterly. We also have the IUKD. This is 50 higher yield UK companies. ISA eligible, of course, you know what I'm talking about. We also have the UKDV, and that is UK dividend stable companies, ISA eligible. Now, let me say this, dividends aren't guaranteed, but then who says your salary should be the only means of income? You understand what I'm trying to say? And we are trying to come out from certain bondage, and that bondage has actually sustained us for some time. Yes, it's our 9 to 5 that we have committed, and now we're trying to have a little bit of a leverage, and so we are tapping into various department, and together it becomes an ocean. And so if you were earning £50,000 and you are well invested, so let's assume from now to the next 5 years you intend to exit from your 9 to 5, then these are some of the assets you want to look into investing. And by then, a little bit from the property, a little bit from REITs, a little bit from your dividend, and the others that I'll be adding to this portfolio, and you realize we are making the same amount anyway. Oh, your 9 to 5 is good, you want to keep it, yeah, why not? Let's make the extras. All right, let's jump into the extras. The fourth one is online business. And now this is something actually different to everything I've given you. But yes, I'm not excluding this, because now online business is also one of the biggest deals. Trust me. Some of these online platforms, these people behind these platforms are earning some serious amount of monies. All right. And so I can't talk about you investing into these assets and ignore the online business. And this online business could be after your 9 to 5. But my first question to you, what do you do? What is your specialty? What skill do you have? What can you teach? Now, let me also state that online businesses are not passive from the start. Eventually, you get there anyway. And so with time, we need to invest some time, some season into it. And then with time, we can see it manifest. But you see, you can have your own courses. You can have your own books. You can do a lot when it comes to online. As a content creator, you can do a lot. You understand? I have my 9 to 5. I have other businesses. I am still here educating you. So what is your specialty? And most especially, if you have committed to your 9 to 5 for the past 5 to 10 years, there should be something you really are specialized in. Tell me, there should be really something. Someone out there isn't, and that person is eager to know what you actually do with your 9 to 5. So it's one of the places you can actually look into. Now, do not shy away from that. I get it. Your friends may condemn it. People you know may not support it. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But see, be intentional with this business. Let me think of the right word. Let me think of the right word. Be unapologetically, can I say don't be shy. Do you know what the vision is? Do you know where your focus is? Stick to it and forget about the rest. I've been to places to minister and people tell me, oh, I've seen you. Okay. Then they're, oh, I think it's yacht finance. But I was ministering. It is right. All right. It is fine. You know what your vision is. You know what you want to achieve. Stick to it. So I can't give you all of this without talking about the online business as well. What is your specialty? Let's start online and let's move. Family, if you've watched till this time and you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do me the honor. If you haven't followed this platform, by all means, just click on it and just follow, share, bless someone, leave me a comment in the section and I will personally respond to you. Also, if you haven't purchased or tapped into my resource, this book, Doing Amazing Magic, Teach Your Children Your Habits and Your Inheritance, please. We are listed everywhere. By all means, do me the honor and secure yourself with a copy. All right, so the fifth one is government bonds. Yes, they don't sound exciting, but they do the business. I'm talking about gilt. If you invest into gilt, you are investing into a government-backed system. Once again, is it exciting? No. Does it pay a lot? No. But does it do something? It does. Is your money safe and secure? Yes, because you lend it to the government. And so your money is actually backed. Now, if you are able to hold it to the full tenor, then you get the full face value of the bond. And so to me, it's neither here nor there. It's a no-brainer. If you are picking a selection of assets, I want picked without adding a government bond. Once again, it shields and it protects your money. Especially if you really are in dire need and you want to get this fund, you know that you can go in there and your fund is there. Now, with all of these I've actually given you, you do not want to move into these ventures without having an emergency fund. Because without an emergency fund, you will be selling on ease. You understand? But we do not want to do that as investors. And so please ensure that before you tap into any of these that I've given you, there is an emergency fund. That is why I keep saying you must be strategic when it comes to planning with your money. Now, let's talk about something that you may not hear others talk about. If your lifestyle costs you £3,000 per each month, that means in a year we need well around £36,000 just to have that maintenance. Therefore, for any portfolio size that gives us 5% return, we are talking about around £720,000. And for a 6% return, we're talking about £600,000. So you see, a little bit of a business income, a little bit of property income, bond income, real estate investment trust income, some other streams of income here will actually get us there. What am I talking about? 10 years, 6 years, 20 years, 18 years. And all together, we realize that that portfolio is now catering for our lifestyle. And Rome was not built in a day. And so if you really want to strategically plan that exit, it must be intentional and deliberate. Don't wake up one day and run off because I want to go online, become a content creator, or I want to be a musician tomorrow. Do not do that. Plan for the next 5 to 10 years for that exit. And dependent on where your skill sets are, then we can go for 2 years, depending on what it is. Or maybe at most 1 year to say, okay, now we're going to give this all our best. Let's give it a try. And see, you're better off trying than refusing to try. Try and fail. Then assume if I try, it will fail. Yes, it may fail, but when it fails, it's part of the strategy. It's part of the whole plan. And so we fall and we rise again. We fall and we rise again until it actually works. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. This is Yap Finance. I can't wait to see you at the top. Once again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, by all means, follow, subscribe, leave me a comment. God richly bless you, and I'll see you in the next.